Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to pick videos from the Photos app and then play it inside an AV video player, which is a video player from native iOS itself in Godot game engine. So basically we will be creating an iOS plugin which helps you to pick videos from the Photos app and then play that picked video inside AV video player in Godot game engine. Now I know that Godot game engine also has its own video player node, but we won't be using that as that is very limited and it does not play all different kinds of videos. The AV video player, which is available on native iOS, can handle most of the different video types that are available. Let's get started. As usual, you would require macOS for this and you would require Xcode installed. So I have already have Xcode installed and I have created a simple folder called Godot. You can name it whatever you feel like. It's just a parent folder given that there will be multiple projects. So I just wanted to create one parent folder for this. You can name it whatever you feel like. If you don't want to create this folder, that's fine as well. So just open Xcode, file, new, package, and here inside multi-platform select library, click next again, and here you can see I will be naming my library as my library. You can name it whatever you feel like, but I would recommend if you are doing this for the very first time, follow what I am doing, because this name of my library or whatever name you will give it has to be remembered, and we will be using this in lot other places as well. So it's better you follow what I'm doing. So I will just click on this Godot folder. I'll click on create. Next we will be making use of Swift Godot. So here I have one cheat sheet opened. So yeah, don't get too confused about this. All this cheat sheet has been created from this particular documentation. So you can go through this documentation if you want to. Again, I'll just refresh this. Okay, so here you can see we have already done this step. Okay, next we have to add this dependency section. So I already have that. If you want, you can copy it from the documentation as well, no big deal. We have to paste it out below the products array. So here inside my package.swift, you can just paste it below the products array. Then you have to press Command S. It will automatically install this dependency with the help of Swift package manager inside our library. So here you can see it has automatically installed it for us. We don't have to do anything. Once that is done, we have to add this platforms. So again, if you go to the documentation, they have added the macOS platform, but we require iOS platform. So I will just paste it over here. Once that is done, again we have to add this type dynamic to library name as well. So again, I already have this, so I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, again I'll go back to, then we have to add this dependency array. Again, I'll just copy this. If you scroll down here, you can see in the documentation they have added this dependency array after the target name. So after target name, just add a comma and paste something like this. Then I'll just improve the indentation by pressing Command A, Control I. Just do Command S as well. Once that is done, the next thing is, at the time of me recording this video, Swift Godot does not support Swift version 6, but if you're watching this in the future, obviously you should check whether Swift Godot supports Swift version 6 or not, but at the time of recording it doesn't. So I'll just change this version to 5.10, Swift version to 5.10. Then we have to write the actual code inside my library.swift file. So I will just cheat a little bit. I already have this code written, so I will just go to my sample project which I had created and I will copy it from there, but I'll explain it to you, don't worry. So I'll just paste it over here. Okay, so firstly we are importing UI kit, Swift Godot, Photos UI for picking the video from the Photos app, and AV kit for playing the video. Then this is boilerplate code which we have to write for Swift Godot. So here this should be your own library name. Then all this code needs to be called on the main thread. That's why I'm annotating this with @main actor, and here is our Godot annotation. So this particular class name can be used from GD script side while initializing. Then we are also extending ref counted. I think it is used for memory management, I'm not really sure, but PHP view controller delegate is for picking videos from the Photos app. That's why we need to extend it. Then here I have created one signal as well. This will basically help us to send some data from iOS side to Godot side. I'm not really sure if I'm using this or not. Maybe for error I might be using it. No, I'm not really using it. If you want you can use it, but yeah, I'll just keep it for now. Then this AVPlayerViewController is for playing the video, and this AVPlayer again for playing the video as well. Then this is the method for called pick video. So again it has been annotated with @callable so that it can be called from GD script as well. Firstly, here we get hold of our root view controller. Then we create our PHP configuration. Selection limit is 1. We filter by videos. Then here we have created this PHP view controller. I'm setting the delegate which we had initialized over here, and then we just present the Photos app to the user to pick video. So once the user picks a video, the callback comes over here. Now this method has been overridden from PHP view controller delegate. This is not my own method. And again we get hold of our root view controller. Then we dismiss our Photos app. We get the selected video. Now we can't, once we have the selected video, we can't directly start playing the video because we have the user has only selected the video. Okay, we don't have access to the Photos app, and we don't really require access to the Photos app as well because this is unnecessary permission. You should not access the Photos app entirely just for picking one video. Okay, so what we have to do is we need to save this video temporarily inside the app directory. So this code which you see over here is doing that. So this entire code which you see over here now, so that's what this is. Even I'm not really good at this, but yeah, here we are storing the video inside a temporary directory once the video has been picked from the Photos app. Then on the main thread we just create an AV player. We set it to our player view controller. Then with the help of root view controller we present our player view controller and start playing the video over here. If you want you can send this error message back to Godot side as well, but I don't want to complicate too many things, that's why. Okay, then the next thing what I will do, I will open the main Godot folder which I have inside VS Code. You don't need to do this, but we need to create one file which I'm not comfortable creating via Xcode. That's why I'm creating it via VS Code. So this is our library, right? So I'll just create one file called build.sh. Okay, then we need to go to this particular URL. Again, a shout out to this guy Stephen who helped me initially on how to create iOS plugin with Swift Godot. So for now I will just copy this entire bit of code and I'll paste it over here. Now we have to make few changes, so just scroll up and here we just have to rename it with our own library name. So for it was just my library. Okay, and we also need to add one more thing which caused issue for me, and Stephen told me to add this. So we also have to do the skip macro validation. I don't know why we are adding this, maybe related to some the macro feature of Swift, but I don't know. So yeah, once we do these two things, then we can just open our terminal. We can cd to our library. Okay, and first we need to run this particular command, so I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Then we need to run this particular command. So I'm not planning to deploy this app to Apple App Store, so I'm only generating the debug framework. But if you're planning it to deploy it to Apple App Store, instead of debug you should all, apart from debug, you should also generate release. So you just have to write release over here instead of debug. So for now I'll just run debug, and this will take a little bit of time, so let it do its thing. In the meantime we can just open our Godot game engine. I'll click on create. I will navigate to our Godot folder. Where is it? My camp, Godot, select current folder, and here I'll just name it as my Godot project. You can name it whatever you feel like. Okay, I'll click on create and edit. Okay, then I will just click on project, export, add, iOS, click on fix import. Then we have to enter our app store team id. To get your app store team id, you can just go to this particular url and it will tell you how to get your app store team id. Then here is our bundle identifier, so I can just enter my bundle identifier as whatever com dot your company name dot your app name, but this is just a practice project, so doesn't really matter. Make sure you enter your app store team id because we need to export your project, otherwise this export project button will always be disabled. And make sure you enter something correct. Then create a 2D scene, and here I will just create one button to pick video. So here is our pick video button. I will click on save. I will just do command as I mean. I think my Godot game engine has hanged. Okay, I'll click on save. I will run this so that my current scene is selected, otherwise I keep forgetting this. And if you directly export it without setting the current scene, you will get error. Then here I will attach one script. Then here I will go to our button, go to node, attach the press signal to this. I'll click on connect. I will save this as well. Okay, then what we'll have to do again, I'll just cheat a little bit. I already have this GD script code as well, so I will just copy that code. Node underscore 2D. Okay, so firstly we have to create one variable for my library, so I will just add that. Okay, then we just need to initialize our library as well, so I can do something like this. So inside ready, you can do something like this. Here make sure you use your own library name over here as well as over here. So here we instantiating our library. Then on the button press we just do my library dot pick video. So I'll just copy this again and here I'll paste it. So again this is the same method which we have defined it on the native iOS side. Then again I'll come back to VS Code. I'll close this. Now we need to create one folder inside our Godot game engine. The folder name is bin. Again, if you want you can create it from Godot game engine as well. So this is my Godot project. I'll create a bin folder. Inside that we have to create a file called whatever is your library name .gd extension. So in my case it would be my library.gd extension. Now this particular file we cannot really open it from Godot game engine. So here you can see, I don't know why, but yeah, that's why I'm using VS Code. Now I just need to copy this code and I'll paste it over here. Now again, if you have generated release, you will have to replace debug with release over here as well as over here. Okay, once this is done, if you go to our terminal, our framework has also been completed. Then I can just go to our Godot folder. So go to library, go to bin, go to iOS, and here you can just copy these .2 framework files. And here I can just go to my Godot project, go to bin, and I can just paste it over here. Okay, once that is done, let's come back to our Godot game engine. Make sure you save everything. Okay, so the next thing is we just have to go to project, export, just click on export project, and what I will do is here I will create one more folder called iOS. You don't have to do this, it's just that there will be lot of files, so that's why I'm creating this iOS folder inside the main Godot folder. So I'll just click on save. Now again this will take a little bit of time, so let it do its thing. Once the export is done, I'll come back. Okay, so here you can see that my project has been exported successfully. You just have to then go to your iOS folder, double click on this .xcode proj file, and it will automatically open it inside Xcode for us. Then the next thing which we have to do is we have to run this application on a real device, so make sure you connect your real device. So I will just try to run this. Also in the meantime I will try to mirror my device as well. Okay, so let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, I always get this issue every single time. I don't know why, when I run the application for the very first time. But here you can see second time it works. There is one more issue which I used to get. I don't know why it is not showing, but anyways. And also, given that this is the debug IPA, it does take a little bit of time to boot up. But if you want faster loading time, then maybe you can optimize your IPA. You can check the Godot documentation for that. So let's just wait for our app to load. So here is our pick video button. I'll click on it, and here you can see our photos app has been presented, and it is only showing videos, it is not showing images. If you want to know how to pick videos from the photos from the photos app, again I have already made a video about that as well. I'll click on this particular video, and here you can see it has started playing the video. So again it is on mute, but yeah, hopefully you got the point. Again, it opens a separate screen altogether. If I just pause it, it opens a separate screen, and you can dismiss this by clicking on this X button. And here is your previous Godot game screen. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.